Arturo Dark Knight. He's one of our best listeners.
Oh, UV.
UV? Did you just say UV?
Why is there a chicken in my parking lot?
And hello everybody, and welcome back to another Reality Skewed Gamers Wednesday night hump stream here at RSG. I'm your man with the plan, Ranger J 1999. Welcome you guys into another fun-filled, festivity-filled Wednesday night stream where we talk about the latest and greatest in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes news and notes and give you a little bit of insight of what it all means. Glad to have you guys here. Get your ass in here. The water's fine. We don't bite hard. But we're here to talk about the latest news and give you guys some ideas about what's going on with the game for the past week. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me go through the normal spiel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, so you can get that notification of when we do our live streams. We do a lot of live streams. Not only do we do this stream, but we do the stream Monday through, I do the stream Monday through Friday for the lunch stream where we just hang out and do stuff in the game. Saturdays, we also have the Jedi Academy, and of course this show as well. And then in between, I'm on other shows and doing videos with other content creators, and we do GAC on Twitch, and just a lot of stuff going on for the show and stuff like that. So make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you really like the content, and that's an easy way to get to know when we're going live, and a good way to support the channel. Hell, watch the whole thing through. You might be interested and entertained the whole damn time. On top of that, if you really like the content and you want to support us and keep the content coming and streaming, think about becoming a Patreon sponsor. Patreon link is linked below. $5 a month can help us alleviate the cost of running these streams and doing all this great content for you guys. It really does make a difference and it really does help out. Also, join our Discord. Discord is linked in the description below. Great group of people that you can see in here with all the skewers in the chat. Great group of folks that just, not just like Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, but other games that just hang out and play games. And if you're a gamer, man, that's a great place to hang out and just do different games. So there's the spiel, all that stuff. Now, it's an interactive stream, so super chats are always appreciated. Get your questions in. We do follow a format here on RSG. As I said, this is an interactive stream, but I do need you to follow the following format to make sure that I see your question, get it scooped up, because I use Nightbot as a filtering tool, and I have a filtering word, and we keep it simple. Just put the word question in front of your actual question statement, and we will get you up and scooped up. If you don't, then I might miss your question, and that's not on me, that's on you. So help me help you, help me to help you, help me to help you. So there you go. So get your questions in. If you really want to get our attention, you can do super chats. Those are always appreciated. We have all the emojis and stuff that you can put in the chat just to give your greeting and say hi, on top of just saying hi to all the other skewers. So be sociable. Come on in here. Feel free to ask questions, interact. That's what it's all about here at RSG. So glad to have you guys hanging out. Hope everyone's having a good hump day celebration. Got a few bits of news to cover today. Then we'll get in the game, and I'll just answer people's questions and things of that nature related to the game. Had a fun day today doing GAC, doing some conquests. We're just about to get the red box in there, and we continue on with the epic the epic journey that is building up our stuff in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the mobile game brought to you by Capital Games. All right, glad to have everybody here. Let's get into the news. All right, well, we had a couple things happen. Let's just start off with the big one here. I think this is actually the big one. Minor update today. So they announced yesterday that there was going to be an update that you could load previous, and you could, and Android did it for me anyway. So you can see from our good friend CG Dojafet Mini number 2. Says today's update coincides with the forced update for the minor title update that began rolling out yesterday. You'll be required to restart and download the latest version from your app store. This release contains several infrastructure updates and a few fixes. What are the fixes? Fixed an issue with Admiral Akbar's rebel coordination leader ability at level 8, which was calling out 2 weakest rebel allies to assist instead of 3. Fixed an issue with Jedi Knight Revan's direct focus special ability, which was not properly counting marked, and fixed an issue with Mara Jade's animations. And then known issues can be found here on the development tracker, and there's also known issue with Admiral Akbar's leader ability at tier 8, which is inconsistent with other tiers. This will be fixed in a future update. So that's what this is supposed to do. Probably some other things that was coming along with it. That being said, oh boy. Well, that was the minor title update that rolled out that was started yesterday. Well, you boy. It's Dojafed again. He says, "Hi, Holotable heroes. We're aware of an issue some players are experiencing trying to get into the game after today's minor title update. The team is busy implementing a hotfix, but for now you may want to avoid updating the game. Too late. If you have already begun the update process, it should still work even if you're experiencing the issue. However, it may appear as though nothing is happening, for the loading wheel will spin for around 20 minutes or longer before the game begins to work properly. We will provide updates about the hotfix when it's ready to implement. So we should get a hotfix tonight." Now, one of the things that happened with me with this, because I got this hit me yesterday, the new update. I hadn't really any problems with it until had a strange thing happen today. We were doing GAC. We went in to do bounty hunters against bounty hunters, and I hit to do battle, and then it said there was an error. Well, had to reload the game. We went back in, and it said that I was making an attempt on the bounty hunter team that I was currently in, so we had to wait 5 minutes. And then when I went and finally, I figured we were going to have, we lost the team, we lost a chance to attack. It was just one of those things where the game errored. But when I went in, it didn't count the attempt, and I still had the same team to go in there. So some strange shit been going on with this current title update right now. So I know it's annoying, it's frustrating. I know a lot of people are saying that they're having issues with it. So hey, they're trying to fix some stuff, and really was stuff that they were trying to fix on top of everything else that you saw that they mentioned. It was something to do with Android as well. So mainly, if I'm going to say anything that Android users are probably the ones getting hit hardest with this. So yeah, big problems uploading. So stop it, don't do it. Wait till they get the hotfix out and just go with what you got. So, but that's not what you want to see when you're seeing an update to fix stuff, and then you break stuff that you have to go back and fix that break to fix the stuff that you broke that you had to try to fix in the first place. That doesn't look good. So hopefully they can get it squared away. Because goddamn, CG needs a break, man. God bless America. They have been dealing with some just nonsense here. But that's the deal you make when you get into software and all this stuff. It's not easy, and it's not an easy job. And this is the shit that happens. We all know. We all work at places where something happens, something breaks, something doesn't work. You try to fix it, then that doesn't work. We've all been there and done that. But just they've had a run of bad luck with GSC. Now this happening, that's just not a good look. But I'm sure they'll get to try to fix it as soon as possible. Now, on top of that. So if you're having issues, it's been addressed. They're looking into it. There should be a hot fix. They'll get it taken care of as soon as they can. If I get anything on the forums, I'm updating and checking the forums and seeing if there's anything else on that. I haven't got anything since that post from our good friend Dojafed, but yeah. Now the other big post this week was Grand Arena reschedule update and the make good. Now, I covered this on the lunch stream today, gave my thoughts. I'm going to share my thoughts here with you. And these are the two big ticket items. There's no announcements of marquees or new characters or anything like that. So there's no other information in the forums really other than these two big things. Again, from Dojafed, says this week we expect to send out an inbox related to Grand Arena issues that result in a reschedule. The following will be issued to players who signed up for the event. 1,000 crystals and 1,000 championship tokens. The above is meant to cover any crystal income changes that were delayed due to the rescheduling of the last 2 weeks of the season of Grand Arena, and thus the delay to when rewards would have been received. We're also providing championship tokens for gear or other items available via championship currency that you might have purchased had the Grand Arenas ended on schedule. Lastly, we added some extra crystals and tokens for general inconvenience. Thank you for understanding us as we work through this issue. Now, that being said, so this is CG's response. Now, my feeling on this, and I know there's been videos on this stuff, this topic all day today. Mine is it's meh. I mean, it's good. I think it's fair, but I don't. From my opinion, it's not quite enough. I would have sent like 1,500 of each. Was really kind of where I was falling on this, just for we're missing out. I mean, so people missed out and thus were delayed on their stuff, but they're going back to back GAC. So the week off that we would have had, that we just had before we got this newest GAC relaunched, we're not getting that break. We're going right into the next GAC on that Monday. So we'll have a couple days and then bam, right into GAC instead of a full week off before we go into the next GAC. So, but I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's more than a lot of people were predicting. A lot of people were predicting just 500 crystals and 3 Clone Wars Chewie shards. I think they went a little bit more of that with the championship tokens and crystals. I would have liked to seen some maybe some gear, some other stuff associated with it. But it's nice, but I don't. In my opinion, it doesn't do enough. Now, that being said, I think they could have done a little bit more. In my opinion, all this stuff about CG doesn't care and all this other crap. Listen, nobody has given CG the third burn more than your boy here, Ranger J 1999. No one has a record for more F-bombs on CG when they get it wrong. My rants are legendary, and when I feel like they get it wrong, they get it wrong. It's not that they got this wrong. I don't think they got it right. I think it should have been more. But I think they're saying that CG doesn't care and all that other stuff. I just get that crap out of here. The one thing that's saying that they don't care, that stuff. Certain times it seems certain issues I'll take a point with them on that, and I'll say, okay, that's a bad look. I think it's a missed opportunity. One of the things that was being said today was that this was a missed opportunity, and I think it was. I think if you'd done a little bit more, there's always going to be people that will belly. I don't care what CG would have done. They could have put 5,000 crystals and 5,000 championship tokens, and people would have been like, it's not enough. There are those people out there. Ignoring those people that just want to see the world burn and complain about everything. I think there's a valid argument that there's a missed opportunity just to, say, this happened. You went, well, it affected some people that were trying to get Executor. Those extra crystals would have been nice to help with them, with their farms and things of that nature. A little bit more would have gone a little bit further. But it is what it is. 1,000 crystals and 1,000 championship tokens. We'll take what we can get, right? But I think, they could have done more with this. And I think it would have gone a long way more into just, the overall consensus of, what happened and making the community happier. Some people are fine with this. Some people are not. If you're not, I get it. I'm not arguing with you. That's your opinion, and I respect it. And I'm saying you're wrong. And I'm not saying I'm right either with my opinion. This is just my thoughts on it. But I don't think it's worth getting that bent out of shape for it. There's a lot of problems in this game. This is not something I'm overly concerned about. But it was a missed opportunity. It's nice. 1,000 crystals, 1,000 championship tokens. That's nice. It's a nice gesture, but it's not enough in my opinion. And they could have done more, but they did something. I think they just missed the mark. And I think that's where we should leave it. Goodwill with the community goes a long way. But then again, you're not going to make everybody happy no matter what you do. So, what can you do? So, if you guys think that it wasn't enough, hey, I get it. If you think it should have been more and you're really upset about it, hey, I get it. I'm not going to argue with you. I see your viewpoint 1,000%. I'm just giving you my insights on it. You have been asked about it a lot today. And for me, it's like one of those things like, okay, yeah, there it is. Okay, good. All right, 1,000 crystals, I can deal with that. 1,000 tokens. If I was in charge, I would have done a little bit more. 1,500 crystals, 1,500 championship tokens, maybe some gear. If they've done the crystals and the tokens and not done anything else, and then threw in some gear in there, some Kyrotex or something else, sweeten the pot a little bit, I think that would have been cool too. But But well, it doesn't say when we're getting these rewards. It says just soon TM. So probably the next day or two we'll get this. When did they say? No, they don't really say. This is what they were doing. So they haven't really said when they're going to do this. So I think the other problem that I'm seeing with this is that it was so long to get this response. And I don't understand that. Now, this one I do have a problem with. Nearly 2 weeks to come up with this. I mean, it's nice. And as I said, it's a little short in my opinion, but I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I'm okay with the rewards. And for me, it's cool. It's totally fine. But the delay on it, 2 weeks, that's almost 2 weeks. I mean, it was 11 days, 10 days since the last GAC Thursday. Oh, it's almost Thursday now, 2 weeks. Yeah. We went 2 weeks and then we got this. I think if you'd done this quicker and done it sooner and had a quicker turnaround, if this had been put out last week as just bam, here you go, then I think would have been less animosity from the player base toward CG. But I mean, it's a lesson learned, right? Maybe they can learn from this. Maybe they can look at this as an opportunity. Okay, we did this. It seems okay, but we could have done more, and we could have been faster with our response. I always say that you may not always make the right decision because you may not have enough information. But if you go with what you got, and make the best decision you can, and go with what you can do. And that's quicker reaction is always better than delayed action, because then people get frustrated. They keep asking, when are they going to do it? What are they going to put out? And then if the longer you delay, for those that are getting more frustrated, and then this is what you come out with, then they feel even more upset, because it's like, okay, not only did I not get, I had to wait nearly 2 weeks, but then this is what I'm getting. It just cascades on itself. So I guess it's a lesson that CG could learn here a little bit. So, lesson learned. Took a little too long, I think, to respond. I think it came up a little bit short, but it is still nice. 1,000 crystals and 1,000 championship tokens. I think it's for me, but I understand what they're saying, because I think that what they did here is they split the bar on the rewards for those 2 battles that we lost. Because everyone's saying, well, I missed out. It should have been 900 and 900. Okay, but then you're assuming you won, like your Carver won, and you won those 2 rounds. Who says you were going to win? Right? So I think they went between 200 and 900, said, you know what, 500, 1,000 championship tokens. They kind of split the difference, said, hey, yeah, that's fair for everybody in the game, because people that are lower tiers, this actually exceeds a lot for what the crystals they receive. The reason I say it would be 1,500, because you did have those rewards. Even 1,300 crystals would have been, if you can say it was for this, we just split the difference on these. Could have been, I think that would have gone over a little bit better. So, it is what it is. But let me know what you think. If you want to put a question and just tell me what you think about it, feel free. I see those kind of stuff all the time. But I think that the delay hurt. The response, although fine, could have been better, and I think that just exacerbated that it took 2 weeks almost to get the answer, and then we still don't even have the rewards yet. So 2 weeks just seems like too long. I know GAC crashed, but I mean, I know that there was stuff going on that weekend with Valentine's. Well, no, that happened before Valentine's Day, if I'm not mistaken. This is beginning of February. So yeah, I don't think there was any holidays that weekend. But yeah, it could have just been handled, I think, a little bit better. But I'm trying to be fair here, and see it from both sides of the issue of how people feel about this. So for me, it's not that big a deal. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I get going on, and it just doesn't rise to the occasion for me. I'll let other content creators, they want to be more vocal about it, they can feel free. Respect, go for it. Totally works for me. I respect the other side of it too, where it's like, hey, this is nonsense, this is BS. I totally understand and can totally see your point of view on it. I just have a different point of view on it. I just think it could have been a little bit more, but it is what it is. Especially with all the other stuff that we're dealing with in the game right now. So, but we'll get it here, hopefully sooner rather than later. I don't want it. Now, this will piss me off. If they do this announcement and we don't get it for another week or two, we don't get the make good, that's going to really upset me, because it's like, okay, what's going on over there? It should not take 3 weeks from the end of GAC to get the make good. I mean, come on. I mean, I've seen you guys give out faster, even 500 crystals and 3 clue and chewy shards for stuff that was less of a problem than this was for this stuff and got it out quicker. So if you're just going to do a blanket thing, hey, make sure you get it done and you get it out there. That's all that needs to be said. But I think the other thing too, as we wrap this one up, is that the executor event falling when it did, really, I think that, again, exacerbated it. That's why I think this needed to come out quicker, get this out there, and then people could have had those crystals for the executor, which would have helped, right? Because we were going basically until GAC launched here last week, we were delayed, and then, people that were looking for some of those crystals and to get those wins and use those crystals for executor, so yeah. And, some people felt like that was intentional. I don't think it was intentional. I don't know what the problem is. I just think they just delayed it too long. I don't have an answer for why it took so long. I just don't find that that's a very good way of doing things, So, and it just happened that executor fell in that time period. So again, the delay led to more exacerbation, and then you have events like executor and other things happening where people trying to get this stuff done even before we get to the next GAC, and trying to get their characters done, especially if they're free to play. I mean, crystals are a lifeline for people that are free to play. So, you just add all those components together, and then you get this kind of meh feeling about the rewards, where it's like, okay, it's nice, it's better than nothing, but it's upsetting that it took this long and that we still don't have them, and it took 2 weeks, so I kind of see all of it wrapped up and run. But let me know how you feel. We'll talk about it. I mean, that's really the only thing that's on the menu really tonight. So what we're going to do now, because those are the 2 big ticket items this week for the news. We have the content update that's just causing issues. We also have the title update's doing stuff, and then we have the make good, So you ask me questions, feel free to ask me whatever you want. So whatever you guys want to put down there, remember, if you have a question or you want to say something, you can do a super chat if you really want to get my attention. Always appreciate it. Or you can just do questions. You can put the word question for your actual question statement or actual question and put that into the chat, and we will discuss it. So that's really all the news that I've got for you tonight, because there really wasn't that much going on. We've been mainly focusing on well, the 2 big things is GAC and then our Conquest. And big shout out to my boy Lucky today. He fought Arnold T101. Arnold T101 today. Fell up short. It was a good match, close match. Loki came up short, but I'm sure he'll get him next time. So it was fun to watch how Loki did against Arnold. And I think Loki could have pulled it out. There were some things I would have done differently. A little bit differently, but I mean, Loki knows his stuff better than anybody. I mean, I listened to Loki for advice on GAC, so GAC's at that level. It can go either way. Good lord, those are heavyweight fights, man. The mods, the characters, just brutal, absolutely bloody brutal. So. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. All right, so with that, the other stuff that's going on this week is Conquest. If you guys have questions about Conquest or about your counts, you can put those into your questions as well. I'll scoop those questions up. Again, follow the format or I won't see your question. Make sure you put the word question for your actual question statement. But anything about, GAC and the characters and teams and Conquest. I mean, Conquest, I got to say, not the biggest fan of Conquest, but I gotta say I'm a bigger fan of what this Conquest is. I think the feats, there's some stuff here. Some of those Darth Revan teams are crazy. The Lord Vader in Sector 4 is absolutely nuts. But I think overall, though, I really like the feats. I think the feats are very doable. And I think the sector feats are very doable. Very general. If we have to grind, at least I can grind out multiple things at the same time, unlike previous conquests where I was sitting here wanting to stab myself in the face with staples because it was so horrible. The just ridiculousness of what we had to do in those last, I say 2 conquests. The last one was really brutal. But this new one, event feats are really cool. I'm really fine with the way I'm like, and I told CJ, I'm like, I'm okay with this. You want to do this the rest of the time? Hey, I'm down with this. I think it's doable. There's some things here and there. There were some glitches, some bugs, not knowing which Mandalorian to use and things of that nature. Those are minor things. I think some of those Darth Revan teams are just crazy OP, man. Malik gets ramped up, man. You're in big trouble. But the only smaller complaint that I have is just Lord Vader. I beat it. I mean, if you have the right data disk, you can do it. But holy God, this fight here, woo boy, that is a tough ass fight. So if you're having problems with Lord Vader, trust me, we all have had problems with Lord Vader. Even me with 8.2 million GB account, that is a hell of a fight. I think CG lost their minds on that. I mean, everything else is really cool. I'm digging it, but man, CG lost their god dang minds on that one. Boy, I tell you what, Jesus. So yeah. All right, let's get to the questions. I see there's some questions coming in. Let's scoop these up and start answering some of these. And as I said, just interact and we will get you guys squared away. All right, let me see. Ray Rock with our first question says, is Clash Rendar's Omnom worth it without Vander Chewie, but with Bambi, Quill, IG, and L3? Yeah, it can be. But you're going to lose prepared. And I mean, if you're fast with the team, Ray Rock, like if Dash is like super fast, you can do quite well with it. But it's not as effective with Vandor because Vandor is always reviving. So unless they go after Vandor first, it makes it a little bit harder to do, right? So it's effective, but it's not as effective is what I'll say, Ray Rock. All right, who's next? Janet Baker question, did you win your GAC today? I switched to Arnold stream. Oh, Janet. you woo me, thy love. No, I understand why Loki was fighting. Hell, I told everybody to go watch the Arnold stream. No, yeah, we won. Full clear. Opponent didn't even bother attacking. So it is what it is. Well, our defense did very, very well. I should have been 3-0. I finished 2-1 in GAC. The one I lost, I should have won. I just, I pooped the bed. Made a decision on a team. If we'd won, we would have won the GAC. We would have been 3-0. So, hey, you learn from it. It's been nice. We've got Star Killer now, Relic 6. I'm trying to get visas up to at least Gear 12 for the next GAC round. I haven't joined GAC yet because I'm trying to see if I can get these last little dinky pieces here. So Visa, Star Killer, getting them squared away. Kyle and Dash, I'm just finishing up the last slices on their mods, and then they're going off the favorites. Then after Visa's done, it's Boba Fett and Fennec, getting them rounded up, and then Iden, getting her up and running. Because we do have the other Imperial Troopers pretty solid. We can use them for an Iden team. But I'm not rushing too hard on Iden right now. That's what I'm doing on the other ones because I don't have her Omicron yet. She can work well without her Omicron, but the Omicron's really nice. That Omicron is dupe. It's super dupe. That 35% max health, max protection. They recover health and protection. You can't kill her. All this stuff. I mean, it's a fun ass team. So yeah. So tomorrow on the lunch stream, we'll finish up Conquest, get the last banners, I'm hoping, and be done with it. And I can just chill for the rest of the week and weekend, and get ready for GAC. But once I get Visas up to 12, then we can put her at least on the Star Killer team and take the other character off. And then we'll be good to go. So again, we're all here. We all understand it's the gear grind. And I think that's another thing. We know there's a road ahead coming. And I think that the big question we have is, all right, you've done a great job getting us to gear 12. Outstanding job, CG. I think the Kerbantes, droid collars, stun guns, stun cuffs, fantastic. But what are you doing about gear 12? Big time. Stonewall says, question, what relic levels do you need for murder bears for the Chirper Omicron? 3 to 5. At least relic, because you got to take advantage and get those characters up, and you got to 6EM, and you got to get the speed on them. So I'm not the biggest fan. Kane77 with the $10 super chat says, just because Ranger gets some bourbon, I will in a month when I get the super chat money. But thank you, my friend. That is very kind of you, Kane77. Thank you very much. That is very nice of you. I appreciate you, Kane. I appreciate longtime viewer. Appreciate you, Kane77. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of I think the Omicron and Chirper is really nice. For the investment you got to make with the Ewoks, and there's an investment, and then you get them relicked. It's just not a team that I'm prioritizing. I mean, if I'm going to compare Ewoks to the Iden team, I'm going to take the Iden team, especially without Omicron. If I'm going to compare them to Bad Batch, I'm going to take the Bad Batch team, which leads into Lord Vader. I mean, the problem with the Ewoks right now is they don't lead to anything. They're good. They're a good backline team. My troopers still outspeed them. and they're just begging for 65 banners if you don't have, and it's a lot of mods too. I mean, a lot of mods that can be going on other teams and characters. That being said, if you love Ewoks and you love the Murder Bears, the Omicron's nice in the regards that it's a really good, solid team. I just don't think it's worth some of the, when you look at some of these other Omicrons on these teams and characters. Still, Qui-Gon's phenomenal good. I think, who else is Omicron? The 3 on Star Killer, at least 2 of them are really sick. The third one's fine, but I think you need it. Dashes is really good. Zams is incredible. Zams Omicron and JC is unbelievable. And that's the other thing too, is like, people are asking, like, do you prioritize gear for, Omicrons for TW or GAC? I'm not conflicted on this. For me, I think it's GAC. Long term, the amount of crystals, gear, rewards that you get for GAC to help your roster build out faster, which you can do more for your guild with that, it far exceeds what you can get. Yeah, I've got Dad Bob Boba Fett. I used to 3 Omicrons. Eventually I'll put him on there, and he's great in TW. He's a pain in the ass, and he can kill GLs. But I do TW, 4 times a month? I'm doing GAC that many times a month with the crystals now tied to it. It's a tough choice, and for me, it's GAC. I think I'm doing more getting GAC rewards with the rewards and the gear and everything to get my teams up faster. Now that I have all my GLs done with Executor, and now I've got Star Killer, all that stuff done that I can use for my guild. Okay, I've got Dad Bob Boba Fett. I don't have the Omicrons, but I think my guild will take me having those many GLs done with the Executor and Star Killer to put on defense or use for offense than having one character, squared away like this. So. But, I can understand, like, some of the people putting Omicrons for TW. In my personal opinion, I think you go GAC Omicrons. I just think you get more bang for your buck. But really do your research before you put an Omicron on. I think Qui-Gon's still worth it. I definitely think Zam's worth it. But that's if you have the bounty hunters up and running and you can take advantage of it, right? My bounty hunters are dope as hell with crazy good mods, and that's why I can use that team. I like Dash's Omicron a lot, too. And don't get me wrong, like, there's some Omicrons at TW I think are phenomenal. I'd love to put the one on Mary Jade. I mean, she's unreal. Mary Jade is a phenomenal character. And her Omicron at TW, that's an easy Palpatine, Mary Jade, Vader team. Go in there and murder Gas because he won't ever stand up. He's going to be immediately sitting down because he loses all his protection. You burn through the rest of the team, murder him, and then you murder Gas. That's an example of how good her Omicron is. I think Phasmus is pretty solid. Dad Bob Boba Fett goes without saying, but for the rewards I get from TW, I'd rather have more characters relic and up and running and teams up and running for my guild than doing a couple Omicrons on getting for the TW. Eventually I will put them on, but for right now, as limited as they are, like the next Omicron is going on Iden Versio. I think that Omicron's worth it. Her Omicron is goddamn amazing. If you haven't seen the big wigs doing their GAC, then you need to see how sick and pain in the ass that team is. Iden is sick good. I've seen it murder Gas. I've seen it murder CLS. And that's Iden with just normal the other stormtroopers. It is super phenomenal good. Really good. Iden's dope. So, also another character that I'm going to be working hard is Omega. Man, Omega in Bad Batch, she is something else. Once I get her up and running and geared and relics, she's going to be really phenomenal. I am a big believer in Omega and the Bad Batch team. Her individual damage is decent, but what makes her with the Bad Batch is that secondary fire damage, whatever you want to call it, the extra damage she gets with that mark and everything she does. Jesus, she hits hard. She is really good. Easy counter to Qui-Gon, easy counter to Grievous, just an easy counter to a lot of teams. Bad Batch is really good, and Omega just works perfectly on that team. So I'm a big fan of Omega. That's why she's there. That's why we're trying to gear her up. But as I said, we're all squirming to try to get the gear pieces we need right now. Cashmere question: if a new mode was coming to the game, would you like it better than Conquest? Probably. I'd have to see the mode. It's hard to say would I like it more than Conquest. I'd have to see what the mode is, what it's pertaining to. Is it PvP, PvE, and then what's the whole dynamic of the new content? So it's hard to say. I'm not the biggest fan of Conquest. I like it better now that it's set up the way it is now. But before, I loathed Conquest. And I've done every Conquest all the way through, got all the characters. I've done Maul, Cat, Razor Quest. Dad bod Boba Fett. I'm going to get the new ship. And I like the rewards out of Conquest. Don't get me wrong, some of the rewards are really nice. I like the Omicrons. I like the gear pieces. I mean, all that's fine. It's just the grinding part of it. And, it's very doable now, and I can handle Conquest now. It's not that I have fun with it. It's okay. It's just okay for me now. If they leave it the way it is, so I'm like, okay, it's Conquest. You're going to have some fun, do a little stuff here and there, but it doesn't. My favorite game mode is still GAC. I love the competitive nature of GAC. I'm just a competitive person. But, Conquest kind of falls into the lap now of, raids. I do it because I need to get the stuff out of there because it helps me do the stuff that I really want to do, like GAC and things of that nature. So, it's your question, Kashmir, has me paused because I'd have to see what the new content is. But I would say it has a really good mark. If it's decent, I mean, it probably would like it. But then again, we loved Conquest when it first came out too. I mean, Conquest was a lot of fun in the beginning, but it's gotten really grindy since then, and it's gotten silly with some of the feats and stuff that were required. I think they went over the top. I like that they pulled back. As I said, I like the general stuff that they're doing with the feats. That's the way to do it. If I'm going to grind something and I can knock out multiple things at the same time, I don't feel so overwhelmed. I can do it at my own pace a little bit more. I don't feel like I have to go bananas and really map out a strategy and everything like that. It's just like, Jesus. That last Conquest just nearly, oh my God. Horrible. But this one, yeah, it's fine. Absolutely fine. I like the rewards from it. You get a lot of cool stuff out of Conquest if you can beat it. I think they're reasonable with the feats now. And the Omicrons, everything like that. So yeah, I think Conquest is if they can keep Conquest at this level, it's another game mode to get some stuff out of, get some rewards, and it's a good way to introduce, besides a marquee, right? It's another way to introduce a higher level character and stuff or ship into the game. I'm okay with it if they leave it like that. Is Conquest symbol yet? No, not quite yet, Atomic Robot. We're not reached that status. Probably do have to do 100 more before we get to that. Maybe one day Conquest turns in like GW where... And people forget this. GW back in the day, that first year was out. Holy God. There was some times, man, you really had to plan out what you were doing for Galactic Wars, man, because you got to like the 9th to the 12th fight. You had to pick teams like when you were going to use, look ahead and plan out what you were doing because those teams were really hard. Even before we got mods, I mean, that was nuts. Galactic War was silly. So it's not like we've had this before, but I give CG credit. They have adjusted. They did listen. They adjusted the feats. I still think the $9.99 pack is worth it. I don't think the $29.99 pack is worth it at all. I just don't think you get enough for that. Changing disc out, I don't think the energy refreshes or the stamina refreshes fast enough for my taste. Not for $29.99. The rewards, just get the $9.99. If you're going to do it, get the $9.99 rewards and get those extra Omicrons and pieces like that. Those are always welcome, but big fan of the $9.99 pack, but I'm not a fan of the $29.99 pack. And you know how I am. I will tell you if I think a pack's worth it. I do like a lot of the calendar stuff. I'm not getting it right now, but some packs I think are really good. And they even have a dad bod Boba Fett son of Django in here. So if you're a little short, $40, like, okay. But yeah. Who got a congrats on my guild? Oh, Sterling increased Beskar Mando to Relic. Nicely done, sir. Boris says, I remember going for weeks without winning the Galactic War back in 2016. I think we all, old crusty farts, Boris, remember those days. Galactic War was something else, man. You really had to have teams and figure out what you were doing. And even then, it could get wonky, man. You had to really focus on Galactic War. But then we didn't have challenges or conquest or some of this other stuff that was in the game right now. And hell, it took 10 minutes to do one battle in the Galactic challenges. Now those are all simmable. I think it's one quality of life change that they've really done very well with is the sim stuff. Man, that's made a huge difference. Now they've added some stuff that's taken up the time that we used to spend doing this stuff. But yeah, the sim stuff has been really nice. And as we get more of it, so we can have the option if you want to play it, we can play it. If not, if we're just like, okay, I've done this enough, I want to sim it. I like the option, right? Give the player choice. If they want to go in because they just haven't played in a while, like, you know what, I want to do this. I'm going to go in here and get this done. Get her done. Then go for it. And then if not, then you just sim it and move on. Get your rewards and, you know, I mean, like the assault events. I mean, I've done, like, this is coming up. We've got the ground war assault battles. I'm so glad I can sim this crap because it's nice that you can sim it, because it used to take us forever to get through these. They would come in and you'd have to do it because you wanted the rewards, but it's nice to be able to sim that crap and just get the rewards. Because I've done it enough. I mean, I think once you reach a point of saturation, you're like, okay, I've had enough. Enough, I say. Nah, enough. Nah. So, yeah, keep your questions coming in. Whatever you guys like, keep your questions coming in. And we will rock and roll and get you guys. I'll answer any questions you guys have about anything. So, anything about the game related, feel free. Questions about your account, things of that nature, feel free. Or GAC, things of that nature, anything related to the game. That's what I'm here for. We're doing Q&A. So, yeah. And I'm just kind of dicking around in the game right now. I'll just have this up because there's really not much news this week. So the stream will be a little bit short. Sometimes we have like 3-hour streams. Sometimes we have 1.5-hour streams because there's just not any news to cover. I don't have any GAC going on. We just knocked that out. So what am I doing here? I just knocked out the critical feat. So these are all done. I've got all these conquest feats done. I think the only thing I have left is just to get, I need what? 35 more points, 5, 10, 15. I think I've got 15 or 10 here. So 10 here. Yeah. Knock out this. And I've got some of the other mini bosses and stuff to go knock out. I don't think I knocked out all these. Yeah, like I'm missing 3 here. What's this one? Defeat at least 3 enemies on the same turn. So I can pick up like some extra points there for doing those. So we'll keep doing that. The goodest ever says, when do you think we'll get Jabba and what would his kit be? So here's my answer to that. Don't know. And even if I do know the goodest, I am the infamous beta tester and I do know things. And so even if I did know, I couldn't say what it would be. What his actual kit would be like? Support. I don't think you make him an attacker. But what they would make that out to, I have no idea. And will we ever get a job? I was actually talking to Crumb. The thing is too is like, just how do you fit him into the screen with the way the game is? We were actually talking about that, and it's like that's a tall order, right? How do you fit him on the screen? How do you make him work because of his actual size and make it functional, realistic, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's been discussed, but you know, when we'll get a job and stuff like that, I don't know. Charge a question. If I keep asking questions, will the stream be longer? As long as you guys are interacting with me with questions and stuff, I'll go a long time. I usually do, but there's no questions, no interactions. After a while, it's like, okay, there's only so much I can talk about, you know, so. And some weeks it's just the way it is. Sometimes there's a lot of news, new characters, like a road ahead, state of the galaxy, things of that nature, where we go for a while and there's so much to talk about. And then there's some weeks like this. I mean, the only things we really got is the make good, and we got, you know, the issues we're having with the game right now. So there you go. Red Power says, maybe make Jabba so powerful he takes up multiple character slots in a squad. That's not a bad idea. Boy, I mean, that'd be interesting. Going with the 4-man team of scoundrels because Jabba's a fatty. I'm sorry, big boned. He's plumpy. We'll say he's plumpy. Imagine if they... Well, spoilers. Well, Mando ended... What? It ended last Wednesday? I always give it 2 weeks, so I won't say anything. But you guys know about with Book of Boba Fett. Imagine if they added the twins... Holy God, how are you going to fit? What if you had Jabba and the twins in the game? Like, you couldn't see the screen. They'd cut up the whole goddamn screen. How many, Darth Cliff says, how many crystal refreshes for Conquest are worth it? So I'll say this for Conquest. If you can get the red box, then 350s each day is all you need. And you can knock it out pretty quick. if you can get the red box. If you cannot get the red box, then I say just do the best you can and be very limited on your crystals and use your crystals. And that's going to depend on your account there, Cliff. You got to make that assessment yourself. But if you're not getting the red crate, the only reason I do the 350s is because I can't get the red crate and I just want to knock it out as soon as possible. It also has to deal with how much crystals you're getting in from GAC or how many crystals you're getting from Fleet. That makes a big difference. What are you working on? 150 crystals each day. It means that's a lot, especially for free to play. So you have to kind of take all that to assessment. But if you got the roster and you can get to the red crate, I'd go 350s. If not, then maybe you only do 150. Maybe because you can only get to through Sector 3 or Sector 4. You just don't have the roster to do it. But, do the best you can to get the best box you can because they're still worth it, even the lower boxes. Kenpachi, Jabba would be his own game mode. Yeah, pretty much. Max Rebo, yeah. They would be a sick 3 team. Yeah, Job and the Twins, man. I'd like to hit a button, but I can't see the screen because they're sitting there eating and I can't see a goddamn thing on there. Janet says, question, what's the best Mon Mothma team without Kyle? It's just a standard team. So if we go look at the Rebel Fighters, I mean, mine is Mon Mothma. You go Pal, Hoth Rebel Scout, Kara, and I'm brain farting here. Who's the other one? Biston. Go with that team. Without Kyle, yeah, that team does very well. Yep, Biston and Kyle spot. Thank you, Mr. Bone. How do you feel, Mr. Bone? Atomic Robot says, please don't reward me with 3 and 4 dot mod CG. I don't know why the game would continue to reward me with inferior mods when it should be pushing 5 stars. So let's slice them financially better for CG2. I've already mentioned it to him, Atomic, that I'm like, 3 and 4 dot mods? Why? At this point in the game, even for newer players, okay, but eventually they're trying to push to 5-star. They're going to farm 5 stars. I mean, 3 and 4 dot mods, I think they need to go away. Focus more on getting more materials and stuff for 5 stars, because really it's 5 and 6. What's a 2 and a 1-star dot mod going to do? It's kind of like, okay, you get some mods when you start off, but you're going to be pushing hard in those challenges to try to get 5 dot mods to put them on your characters as quickly as possible. The rewards they give, I've never understood that. Like the Ewok challenge, the Rebel one, that's like the Galactic, Separatist Might. They give 4 dot mods. I'm like, why? I guess for some people that's good, but I've never been. I don't understand. I'm with you on that. Cashmere says, which twins? The Eternal Twins? Sorry, that was too easy. Yes. How easy? 2. Jarf Cliff says, thanks, first time hard mode, only SLKR. Yeah, I mean, so you have SLKR. Realistically, how far are you going to get? Even with CLS, say let's you have CLS, gas, SLKR, you only have 1 GL. Past Sector 3, it's gonna be a struggle a little bit. You can do some good work there, but it's how far you want to push it and how far can you push it. How good is your mods, right? How high up are the relics on those characters that you got? Obviously, decent relics on some of the teams, but the other First Order team ain't doing a damn thing in Conquest. I'll tell you that right now. So, again, you make that assessment, Darth Cliff, and be realistic in your expectations, and then just push as hard as you can. Alexander question, who is one tune you'd like to see? Not using your beta tester info. If you can't answer, I understand. The one tune, I can tell you what tunes I want to see. Tunes that are coming in right now, I've been pushing since beginning. I've been the biggest vocal things about Inquisitors. I've been saying that's a team when asked the team and that need to come in, and they're finally coming in. If I had to pick a couple more, I'd like to see some more Old Republic stuff. True Revan, maybe some Malgus. And we just had that new, the Old Republic cinematic, which was dope as hell. Malgus, Basilisk Sean, some stuff like that. You can get some of those characters from the Old Republic. Let's get the Old Republic a little bit more fleshed out. And I really wanted it to be fleshed out more as we started looking at some of the sector feats in Sector 5. I was like, really, Old Republic? Bleh. So if I had to pick those, but I'm really into the Sith. So hell, if we went Darth Bane, Zana, Tulak Horde, goddamn, I can go down the list of let's get Kraid in here. Shit, let's go. So those are some of the tunes and stuff I'd want. Add that to the laundry list of quality of life changes we'll never get because CG doesn't deem them profitable ideas. Well, there's profitable ideas, but then there's stuff that just makes players happy. So players in a good mood, they want to spend more money. If they're upset, then they don't. So there's more than just, it doesn't just make a profit. There's a little bit more to it than that. But yeah. Janet, question, are they going back to 3v3, and so will they do another jumble for it based on Chibi since we can't use 5v5 skill level in that game mode? I don't think they're doing 3v3 for a while. They said that in a forum post, Janet, that for the time being it's going to be 5v5. There's still a lot of stuff to flesh out with GAC. We just had the disaster was the game wasn't working in just 5v5, and the skill rating needs to move out. I don't know if they would jumble again in 3v3. I don't know how they're going to handle 3v3. For right now, for the foreseeable future, it's going to be 5v5. I know for sure the next one's going to be 5v5. Probably the one after that. Will we get 3v3? Yeah, 3v3 will come back. There's a lot of people that like 3v3. Would they change the skill rating? I don't think so. You just have to keep your skill rating with 3v3 and do the best you can. Because, the whole point of the skill rating is to get people kind of in the same mode with with their rosters. Alexander Bryan question: what mode would you like to see added in quality of life upgrade? I personally need the old. And ask for ship loadouts. So ship loadouts is one we're all been saying. I mean, I don't understand why that's not a thing in this game. The other thing that I'd like to see quality of life is double drops on ships. Don't understand why that's not been a thing. I mean, some of these ships are way older than characters that have double drops. And if they're going to be adding more ships, it's eventually time to turn the page and get double drops on ships. But yeah, I think ship loadouts, it needs to happen sooner rather than later. Tom Grova says 4v4 would be a nice try. I can barely stand 3v3. We need a robot test to enter the stream. Threes is going to F with Starkiller owners. Yeah, they got to be careful with that. I mean, that would kind of suck too. I think there's going to be 5v5 for a bit, guys, because a lot of this stuff with the Omicrons and stuff, I mean, got to take that into account too. 3v3 is it's just not a conducive game, but now with the Omicrons too, some of those will be affected. Not all of them. Some might get more powerful, but yeah, you can't design the game around 5v5, especially now with Omicrons and everything else going on, and say, oh, by the way, here's 3v3. Okay, it shakes things up. It's different, but a lot of the stuff that we spent time, energy, and money toward just basically goes down the toilet. Now, some stuff gets OP. I mean, Rey in 3v3, for example, if you have Rey, she's damn near unstoppable in 3v3. She is a handful. So, yeah, but Starkiller is just an example. You can't use Starkiller in threes. He's just another character. Doesn't do anything. He has to meet the requirements. So if you do 3v3, all those people that work towards Starkiller are going to be like, well, that stuff sucks. Krennic is a threes only Ami with Ida in the game. Yeah. Sassy Brown says, when we getting mod update for when we can press a button after event, all mods go back in order for event, or give more mod space, or all about mod update, more characters need more space. I brought up the mod stuff there, Sassy. Thank you for the statement. I mean, I do think we need more inventory. I don't know why we haven't gotten more inventory. We are getting more characters. I mean, you make good points about mods. Yeah, we do need more inventory. We're slicing more mods. We're working on more mods. Inventory is an issue. I mean, it's 500 right now, plus what the 6 you get on each character. So there's a limited space, and so people have to make decisions on mods. But then again, there's pros and cons to it. I kind of a little bit see CG's point of view on it, that people would just hoard up to the next line of debarkation that they would create, and then people say we need more space. So I don't know. I do think at this point, with the amount of characters, the amount of mods we're getting, and the amount of stuff that we're doing with mods, that there's a lot of mods, especially now that mods can go to 6A, that there's more mods that we are holding on to because we can go take them to 6A. Before, we were very particular about which mods we kept, because when we only had so many space, and you can only work and keep so many mods in your inventory, and a lot of them you get rid of because it's like, okay, I can't really do anything with this, right? Now that's not the case. You can get those gold mods that are like 10 speed, and hell, if you get them 6A, they could hit speed. Possibly 3 times, and then that mod becomes a crazy mod, or it could hit a stat that's like crazy. So maybe rethinking. I'm with you on that, Sassy. Rethinking what we do with mods, mod inventory, things of that nature. I like what they've done with slicing material. We're getting a consistent thing with slicing material. In other places we get slicing material, but I'd like to see a little bit more room for mods. I'm with you on that. Zam Omicron would suck in 3v3s. Would it? Would it? Let's look at it, because you could be right. I'm just saying, would it? I have it. Would that be another Omicron in 3v3 that would suck? It helps if I actually hit the damn Omicron. Is it Shapeshifter? Yeah. Yeah, it would, because she gains 5% speed for each other bounty hunter ally. And then they gain the bonuses based on what she gets. So yeah, that you're right. Absolutely no. Zam's Omicron would go down in value. It still would be some value because you're getting what, 15%? And then they would get 20% of that. So yeah. So instead of 25, we'd get 15. And they would only get 20% of what she got. So she would be slower. The team would be slower. So yeah, there's a good observation there. No, that's why I'm saying I don't know if we can go to 3s again, because with these Omicrons and people investing in Omicrons, I mean, that sucks. But I'd be pissed. Implement a temporary retreat from GAC before kickoff, so we don't lock with 38 mods missing. Yeah. Are you sure before joining? Yeah, but a lot of people, but you know how that's going to be Atomic Robot. You're still going to be like, are you sure? And you say yes. And then you're like, oh no, I forgot mods. Now, if they had a thing where it said, join GAC, have you checked your mods and are ready to join? That might be a question more to put in, says, are you sure? It's like, are your tunes ready to go and have mods? That should be the button, the question they ask before you put yes, confirm before you go in, instead of are you sure? Because are you sure is like, yeah, I'm sure. And then you push it like, see, I told you I was sure. Oh no, I forgot about my mods. Shit in the basket. So there you go. But yeah, Zams would be affected. So would Starkiller. Yeah, I'm really not wanting to do 3s now. Yeah, instead of are you sure? Are your tunes ready and did you mod them? I think that'd be a more productive message. All right, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, do all that stuff. We just chilling. I'm just doing stuff in the game. Janet, I'm not the biggest fan. Listen, a lot of you guys, I mean, I talk to CG all the time, right? And when I get the opportunity, I voice my things. And there's other people. It's not just me. I'm not the only one. There's other people that are like, that advocate a lot of the stuff that you do. And I'll tell you who's some of your biggest fans. It's Doja Fett and Crumb. They got your backs, guys. Those guys, I mean, they're the mouthpiece, but they see firsthand. They're always in the forums. They're always checking, messages. They're always looking at streams and stuff. And then they're, letting the team know over at Capital Games, hey, this is what we're seeing. This is the kind of sentiment that we're seeing, and this is what we're getting from talking with the content creators. What they're thinking and stuff. So, yeah. What else in the 3 says, perhaps check your mods dummy in quotations would be appropriate. Yeah. Hey, stupid, fix your shit. Are you sure? Quiet John says, be nice if the pop-up window could list tunes missing mods, similar to how it shows tunes needing that piece of gear. Just saying. That would be a lot of work. I don't know if it should pop up all your tunes missing mods. It's just a message. I mean, you got to take some responsibility for your own stuff here. I mean, this is your account. This is your game. Just saying, did you check your mods? Did you check your gear? All that stuff. And say, are you sure you want to join GAC before you join? I mean, a message like that, just that fault. But the onus has to be somewhat on the player. If you remod and you forgot to put your mods back on, I mean, that's on you. You got to take some personal responsibility on that one. But if they did put that message, then I'd definitely put it more on the player. Not list all the stuff that you're missing. That would just get too convoluted for me. Alexander Bryan says, question, if you were in charge of CG for one day and you could do one thing, anything, what would you do for the game? If I could only focus on one thing, gear. I'd implement gear immediately. I'd address the Gear 12 to Relic ratio in Gear 12. That would be my biggest thing because, as I said previously, the gear getting up to Gear 12 is not the problem. But here's a problem with that a lot of players, especially free-to-play, are facing. Getting characters up to Gear 12 is fine. But there's a couple things here. One, the amount of GLs, if you go for GLs and relic levels that you need for the character. The game is not Gear 12 anymore. It used to be back in the day that Gear 12 was the be-all, end-all. It's not. The goalpost has moved. It's now high relic tunes. All right? Gear 12 is what Gear 11 used to be. They need to up the ante and up the gear on Gear 12 for two reasons. One, if you want players to have more relic characters, to have more competitive GACs and TWs and TBs, things of that nature, you got to get people with more opportunities to get Gear 12. Not only because it helps your characters get to relic, but the other thing too is why we need more gear dropping for Gear 12 is at the same time that I'm trying to get these characters to Relic 0, I then have to take a lot of that gear and salvage it to get characters to higher Relic on top of just stuff that we're farming for signal data, things of that nature. But just the normal salvage for relics is ridiculous, you know, and they only require some pieces you only get. And, you know, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. So you first have to decide what team am I going for and get them to Relic 0, then go back in and then with whatever relic material you've had from events and stuff, which is not a lot, then you have to go back in before you can go work on another team is salvage a lot of that gear to then take it up to higher relics. I mean, that just doesn't work for me. That's ridiculous. God. Kashmir says, a message should pop up after you join GC that says, hey, Jackass, you effed and you are missing mods. There you go. Neovim says, my experience is that most people hate Theory 3 because the teams for offense and defense are not cookie cutter like in 5.5. No, they're pretty cookie cutter, Neovim. I'll push back a little bit on that because I'm used to seeing the same teams on offense and defense in 3s that I did in 5s. It would be a lot of like Ray and this and that. I mean, I saw CLS, you know, CLS, Chupio, 3PO, right? You'd see a lot of teams like that, and there'd be the one-offs, but I pretty much had kind of a meta with 3v3, and I went undefeated in 3v3 quite a lot, mainly because of Ray, but it's like, all right, 3PO, let's go in there with the 3 Imperial Troopers. I mean, I had my team, I still do. I mean, my squads in 3v3 are the same as they were before. You know, defense, the main priority. You know, what am I putting on defense? These are the teams. I knew exactly what I was putting on defense. I may change that for around. We've had a couple new characters since then, but for the most part, it was pretty standard stuff, man. Bad Batch we mixed up. I mean, and then offense, I kind of played it by ear, but these 3 teams I would use on offense a lot. So yeah. Take care, buddy. Says good show. Miss the old folks and banter. I blame Finn. Yeah, IBF indeed. Kane, thank you again for the $10 super chat. Very much appreciate that. It's very generous of you, sir. Love you, buddy. And thank you for hanging out. Anytime we can have you here with us, Kane, it's always a pleasure. If you are leaving, I don't know if you are. It seems like you are, but if you are, then love you, man. Thank you very much. That's very kind. Henry Johnson says, I have 400k power and level 82 Galaxy. Wait, I have 400k power and level 82. Henry Jassa, please reword. I can't understand what you're saying. I have 400k power. You're talking about galactic power and you're level 82. What do I need to do for GAC is what you're asking? I'm not sure. Rephrase that a little bit because I want to make sure I give you the right answer, but I'm not sure what you're seeing there. It's a little fragmented. And maybe English is not your primary language. I totally understand. I suck at other languages, so thank you. But if you could rephrase that a little bit. Yes, Chief. So you have 400k GP and well, put your ally code in. Let me look at your stuff here, Henry, and then I'll tell you what you should be doing. I'll give you a couple of routes you can go. What teams? Sure. Yeah, absolutely, Henry. Put that in there. We'll get you squared away. Put your ally code in. Alexander brought in question: how do we put Ranger J 1999 in charge of CG? Well, if I can inherit like $90 million to $200 million, buy out the company from EA, then maybe. But yeah. Yeah, I have 2 languages. English and bad English, says Whittle 23. Sassy Brown, do you think there will be a new GL or CG more focused on Omicrons for GAC, TV, DW, and will Star Killer be needed for a new GL if there is one? That's a great question. I have no idea on that one, Sassy. I have no idea yet what the plans are for this year. Again, the year just started, so, I mean, obviously I tested Ninth Sister and Second Sister. Obviously I've tested the new ships, but past that point, I mean, even if there was stuff coming, I couldn't talk about it. But yeah, it's still early. I don't even know what this year's plans are for CG. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm kind of in the dark on that as more than you are. Yeah, Henry, just put your ally code in. You know, if you go to your name here, pick it, you see your ally code here on the bottom, 9, like mine is. It should be a 9-digit number. And then I can look at your account. There you go. Pyro, what's going on, buddy? He says, hello, good sir. Hello, my friend. How are you? Glad to have you here. Neo Venom says, Red Power, do you realize that most of the player base are free to play? They should expect just as much as play to play. No, I think that's up to a certain point. Yeah, I agree. There we go. All right, let me take a look at this real quick for you, buddy. Any guess on when the RA will happen over or under? State of the Galaxy was slightly disappointing. I don't think the State of the Galaxy was disappointing. If I had to, I think end of February is my, again, I don't know when they're going to do the road ahead. I have no idea. They don't tell me that kind of stuff. I am the infamous beta tester. I test out all the new stuff you guys are seeing. But I don't know when characters are coming in unless I'm doing the exclusive like I did for Maul and for Dark Talon. Then I kind of know some stuff. But when they're releasing something, no idea. If they even release something we test. And then when they do Road Ahead or they're going to put out messages like this, I'm not in the loop on that. All right, so this is a brand new spanking account. We can see the stats, 400K. Man, welcome to the Familia. Did you get the Hyperdrive pack? I bet you did. Very nice. Or maybe you didn't. Okay. Mary J. I'm in love with Mary J. He's the only one. What's going on, you big pimp? It looks like, from what I can see here, all right, there's a couple routes that you can go here, Henry. As a new player, you want to be focused. 2 routes that we always recommend for new players is we always say go for a GL, then go for another team. Go for a GL, then another team, and you just kind of go back and forth on that. Which one is up to you. I don't know how much money you spend in this game, or if you spend any money in this game. That's part of it. But if you say you're free to play, I'm just going to assume you're free to play. You don't spend any money in this game. Cool, right? There's 2 GLs that we recommend at the beginning. Okay, you're going for SLKR. Perfect. That's a great GL to go for. Get you a couple teams. It gets you a GL. SLKR in the long term is a really fantastic, and you're free to play good. Yeah, SLK is a perfect GL to go for. The 2 that we always say go for first is SLKR or C. Those are really 2 good GLs to start off with for your account. Get some good pieces out of that. That's always good. Some people go SLKR into C because by that time, some of the other Galactic Legends are gated by characters that you need, like Watt. Things like that they're gated by doing TB. You get a currency other called Get 1, Get 2. That is currency you have to use to get like certain ships like Negotiator, Watt, Hermit Yoda, Wampa. So there are 2 solid GLs to go for in the beginning. C's fantastic on offense. Kyle's good on offense or defense in GAC. And SLKR is fantastic for raids. He's a character that you can go into raids and just murderize him and get high rewards. Your dad says he's good for raids. Your dad's a smart man. Your dad knows what the hell he's talking about. So you give your dad a high five. That said Ranger J 1999 from Archie says good advice. But yeah, SLKR is a route to go. You can go right into C, or you can go work on another team. There's, again, the other thing I'll tell you, Henry, it is good to go for SLKR, and if you want to go for another team afterwards, but you want to stay focused on teams, right? Concepts. What are the, like, SLKR, and I'm just using this example, bounty hunters. into C, right? You go SLKR, so you get all the characters in 2 teams from that, and you get a GL. Then you work out bounty hunters because you eventually know you want to go for executor, or let's say you go for instead of that you go for Geonosians, so you work on their ships, you get your separatists going, so you can go get Padme. But then from there you go and you go get C, and then from C you're like, okay, I'm gonna go get Padme, and then from Padme with my separatists done, I'm gonna go get Gas. So my dad has 8 million GP on his main. He likes your streams. Well, thank you. That's very kind. Tell your well, who's your dad, Henry? Do I know his in-game name? Big shout out to Henry Josta's dad. The Faja. Red Power says, I think the percentage of players that are free to play is irrelevant. If all the free players left, GG isn't losing any money, which is like why they pay the least amount of attention to the demographic. Yeah, well, you still need people to play this game, Red Power. This is a play-to-play win, or pay-to-win game, in a sense. But, oh, you don't know? Okay, that's cool. Well, tell him I said hi, and tell him he's a smart man. But yeah, Henry, just work on SLKR. Once you get SLKR done, then we can kind of talk about it there. So first, a good way to do this is just go to your first order and just add them to your favorites. And the way I did this, plus you'll need C, so you'll need to go work on C as well. And just add to your favorites all the pieces that you're going to need. You can go to the journey guide in the game and it'll tell you what you need, and then just add them to your favorites. Pretty much all the first order are going to be on there. And then the way I did all my GLs is I took all my characters to gear 11. Once they were gear 11, then I took them all to gear 12. Right? Once they were all to gear 12, then I took them to Relic 0. Don't take them up higher than that. Just go Relic 0. And then from Relic 0, save up your pieces and then do one big hit, knock out your relics, and then you'll be good to go. That's the best way to do it. His main ally code is 6. Okay, we can look at him. But yeah, that's just work on SLKR, add them to your favorites, just do them like that. Work on the stars, get them all up, and then gear 11. Once they're all gear 11, then start gear 12. And then from gear 12, go to Relic 0. If you have any questions, your dad will tell you what that means if you're not sure. It looks like you got a good papa helping you out. And then from Relic 0, then you can go for the big push. So this is his main. Let's see who your papa is. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, let's work on SLKR. See who your papa is if I know them. Let's see who it is. Nope, no idea. It's Mo Liza. That's a standard name, so I don't know who that is. So it doesn't help me. 8.8 million GP. Oh, there's someone good. They're in. Okay. Yeah, they got a great account. Got all the pieces. Yeah. Smart move, only Relic 9, Jedi Master. Smart. 8.8, yeah. I don't know who his in-game name is, but yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. You need free to play in the game to keep the game viable and sustainable too, right? And free to play can be small spenders as well if you want to. Like they spend maybe $20 a month in the game. That they do matter. But just the priority is people that actually spend more money, and they get advantages for that. Basically, their time, like they get stuff faster, and it's just the way it is. I mean, look at any game; most of them are pay to play. There's some free to play out there, but I mean, yeah, every game you can imagine, they're trying to get money to keep the game going. But I think free to play matter. I think pay to play matter. So it's an homogenized. There's a harmony with both those, and I think they both matter. Darth Cut says, "Why gear 11, then gear 12, then gear 13? I'm trying to build 5-man teams all the way, then the next set of 5. Just for GLs, because it's just an easier way of doing it. Just when you're free to play and you're starting off the game, I just find it easier to focus that way, so you stay on target. Just take them all to gear 11." It's just easier for a new player. And now, as you get more experienced, Darth Cliff, into the game, where you're especially once you get a GL or two and you get some other tunes, and you can mix it up a little bit. I just find it easier to tell people that are newer to the game, do this step, then do this step, then do this step. These are just the basics, the basic plan, right? Who to farm, how to farm, how to do it, just to give them a kind of a a platform to build off of. Once they get more comfortable in the game, they get used to the game, and they get more committed to the game, then they kind of figure things out on their own. But when I'm dealing with someone brand new, like, just start like this. But from there, you can expand out how you want to farm and expand out how you attack things, and you'll come up with your own way of farming and things of that nature. You'll watch videos if you get more involved, or you'll read something and you'll come up with a better plan that works for you, right? Everybody's got a different plan, but I try to keep it. It's the old acronym I got from the military, Darthcliff, like, keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, that's why I try to do it that way. You're very welcome, Henry. Have a great rest of your night or morning or wherever you are in the world, and thank you for stopping in. The Dark Lord of the Fifth is here. Says, any ideas where to go after GML for me? Got an account for an underdog and GLO account. Okay, let's see here. I know you don't use mini ROS reviews, but shit, that's what it's just turning out to. Wait a minute, this is how I get my bourbon money. Oh, you guys tricked me. I'm doing mini ROS reviews for free. Well, I do them for free anyway. I just beg for tips. All right. The Dark Lord from Knights of the Fallen Rise. All right, let's see here. All right, 6.6 million GP. Did we receive the make good yet? Nope. All right, so what are we asking here? And where to go after GML? Do you have Executor? That's one. You do. Fantastic. You got a couple choices here then. I mean, after GML, there's a couple routes you can go. If you want to farm, you have Dad Bob Boba Fett. God bless you, sir. God, and Star Killer. I would say you could add Star Killer here. Looking at that with GML, have CGMK that. I gotta be honest with you, Dark Lord. Whatever the goddamn hell you want. I mean, at this point, looking at this account, you have Star Killer, you got the big pieces, you'll have three GLs, right? There's no wrong answer. If you want a quicker turnaround, Ray will be the lowest GL requirement that you'll need in SLKR. Ray, it depends on like how you want to play it. I mean, at this point, looking at this account, I haven't checked your mods or anything. I'll look at that here in a second. But just looking at what you farmed, you have Executor, you got Dad Bod, you got Star Killer, you got C, Jedi Master Kenobi, and you're getting JML. I mean, if you want to take a break, if there's a team like Imperial Troopers or let's say Iden Imperial Troopers you want to work on, or Bounty Hunters, like you want to round up real quick, like maybe you want to add Death Trooper for your Darth Revan counter, or we go to your Bounty Hunters and you're like, okay, let me round up. Is there anything I want to round up? Maybe you get Fennec up and Zan, put the Omicron on her. You take a break from the next for the next GL and just whatever tickles your pickle here, my friend, and then go that route. Or if you just want to go right to the next GL, which I kind of recommend at this level with what you've got, because your shit's looking good, dude. This is looking real good. And I haven't checked your modding yet, but I'll look at it here in a second. But just looking at what you have with all the characters and the places that they're at, boy, oh boy, man. I got to tell you, man, this looks pretty good. It's pretty much whatever you want. Hell, if you decide to do Lord Vader, which I'm like, okay. I mean, you've got 3 GLs, really, that's your big burden left. I mean, there's no wrong answer here. JML was a good choice after that. SLK would be a good one. I like all of them for all the different reasons. If I was to pick an order, I'd say SLK or Ray. Ray will be better for you on defense. SLKR is just what he is. Lord Vader, the only reason I'm hesitant on that is, do you have Bad Batch? God, I just want to look. Yeah, you'd have to farm up Bad Batch and do that. So you could, if you want to do that. If you want to work on one of the other GLs for gear and then farm up the Bad Batch and make Vader the next one, and then say leave Ray for last, I don't have a problem with that either. It's really what you want to do, man. The world's your oyster. It really is. I mean, you've knocked out some really incredibly hard, difficult stuff here. If you wanted to work on some ships and get like maybe your Negotiator, your Malevolence maybe needs a little bit of work, I mean, shit, I'm totally fine with that. But I'm looking at this speed-wise. I ain't got nothing for you, man. This looks fantastic. What's your Darth Revan? I just like to do a little peeky here. Yeah, I say 33. At your level, that's actually really fantastic. See? All right. Wait a minute. We better see some health on here. All right, 180,000. You don't get the no. But yeah, this looks phenomenal. Speed order looks fantastic. on characters that I want speed on. So yeah, those looks really good. Really good job, Dark Lord. You got the world's your oyster. There's no wrong answer. They're all good. They're all good for different reasons. You don't need SLK for the Rays, but he's just an overall good counter right now for a lot of stuff. Ray's just the Queen of D. Lord Vader, he's kind of up in the air. I'm kind of leaning toward SLK or Ray as your next choice. Maybe after you work on a team or two, maybe you go work on Ide and take a break from the GL farm and then go get your next GL. It's there's no wrong answer here. With a count like this, a Star Killer, with JML and Star Killer, you basically have 4 GLs and GAC. So, yeah, man, this is fantastic. Really good job, dude. Outstanding. Outstanding stuff. This is how you do it, folks. That's what I'd like to see. Run inside. Now that GP isn't used for GC matchup, I'd rather gear up the key characters to add another team while working on the other requirements. I mean, you can. I don't have a problem with that. Again, you misunderstand what I'm saying there. For a new player like that, I just want them to focus there. Again, as you move on from that and you expand and get better, then you can do like I do. But that's just the way I try to do it myself, and just the way it keeps me focused on what I'm working on. There's no right or wrong answer, right? There's no right or wrong answer when it comes to how you farm and what you farm. It's your game. You do whatever the hell you want, right? I'm just going to tell you what works for me. And especially for a new player, just kind of keep it in the realm of, I know GP isn't, but like the teams you'll have available just to keep you focused on it. As a new player, I'm going to give that same advice every time because they don't know. And until they get more comfortable with the game and do know, like, Ronan, you know what the hell's up. I don't have to tell you how to farm and stuff. You got that down, locked, loaded, and cocked, man. And you have your own way of doing things. And I'm okay with that. Contingent 33 question. Do you think it would be conceivable to get a one-time completion bump up to 400 GW currency? For example, I have 300 GW currency, which will forever be there unless I don't sim one time. Yeah. Kind of annoying. I'm kind of the same boat. Dark Lord, you're welcome, man. Thank you for letting me look at that. What's my perspective on Arnold T101? I think Arnold's great. I mean, but just like any content creator, I pretty much have a relationship. I don't have that much of a relationship with Arnold. I have a much deeper relationship with all the other content creators, whether it's Cubs or Heinze, Grid. I mean, more, you can go down the list. I've been on their streams and done stuff with them. I think Arnold is, he's fantastic. He is what he is, whether you like or not. I mean, you got to give the guy credit. He is unbelievable. He's got a huge following. He's got the biggest following in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. He puts on a great show. And he does a great job because he's got an unbelievable amount of followers in this game. So, I don't always agree with him, but I think he would expect the same. If someone asked me about him on me, he would say, he'd give him all the platitudes and stuff and that he would do for me, and probably say the same thing. We don't always see eye to eye on things, but that's okay. I don't see eye to eye with a lot of the other content creators. We have really good civil discussions on that. But Arnold's the man. I mean, he packs the house. I mean, whether you like Arnold or not, you cannot deny that man has the clout to bring a quality, fun, entertaining stream when it comes to what he does. Some people don't like it. Hey, it's everything's subjective, right? Whether you're watching me or you're watching Arnold or another content creator, you like what you like. It's all subjective and stuff. But, I have an appreciation. I'm not a normal fan. I'm a fan of all the content creators. But I'm a little different, and I view things a little different because I am my own content creator, right? But I appreciate the time and effort and energy that man puts into his streams. And you cannot deny the effort that he gives. Guy goes balls to the walls when he does a stream, right? And his fans, if you're not one of them, cool, but I know his fans live on the sword for that guy, and you got to respect it. Yeah, that's true. He spent a lot of money in the game. I have to. I'm in 8.2 million. He's 9.6. I mean, I've spent some money in this game too. Rerex says a lot of people don't like Solo Base or Xerath either, and those guys are great for the community with their usual guides. Oh, yeah. Every content creator, I think, adds something unique and different to Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, and I think they're all uniquely different in how they entertain. I mean, Xerath, Xerath is incredible. I love Xerath. Xerath, he's very... that monotone voice and stuff, and the way he talks. But I love it. I think he knows this game like the back of his hand. It's like Playbook too. I mean, Playbook is a goddamn machine. I mean, I love watching Playbook. Some people don't. It just doesn't work for them. It's cool. I know some people don't like mine. I just don't care. And I'm sure they don't care either. So you like what you like, and you like what you don't like. What draws you in, and so but I think they all offer something unique and different, and they all have their different perspectives on things, and they're all different levels with their accounts too. So it's always cool. And one of the things I love doing is the Jedi Academy, because we get a lot of them on Saturdays on this channel, and then we all sit there and talk, and we all give our opinions on stuff, and we don't always agree, and that's okay. I like good constructive conflict when it comes to this game. Oh yeah, CG. Whether Arnold likes CG or not, or CG likes Arnold or not, is moot. He brings them in, and he's getting crazy viewership to this game. So you have got to put respect on that shit. I mean, whether you like Arnold or not is immaterial. You have to acknowledge what he does for this game, which is a shit ton. Yeah. I think Solo Base and Xerath are great. I mean, Mort and Ram, and everybody. I've been on a lot of their channels, and you see me on other people's channels all the time, whether it's Heinze, whether it's Cubs, and just down the line, I've done all their stuff, right? Yeah, Chris, he can make the money to reinvest in the game. That's fine. I mean, and it's smart. It's a smart strategy, but I mean, he also not just the game itself, but you can see that his setup is designed for that, and he's just unbelievable. So yeah, I give mad props. I have mad respect for Arnold, because I can respect what he does. I'm really credit poor. Yeah, you're going to start off that way, Henry. When you first start the game, that's free to play. This is a management game, which means you have to manage your resources right. You got to be smart about your resources. They'll come over time. Just keep doing what you're doing. And I mean, we're always poor on something, unless you're spending an absolute fortune in this game, Henry. Don't look at people that have. I mean, you can't compare what your account to mine, Henry. Like, for instance, I've been playing this game since launch, right? So I've got a lot of the stuff that you don't have with the gear and stuff. But it doesn't mean I didn't grind and sweat it out and have to go through the same things you do. So I understand totally what you're saying, because we've all been there. Whether it's gear, whether it's credits, whether it's mods, whether it's all kind of things. So yeah. Jack says, hi, I'm Henry's brother. Hey, Jack Jasa, Henry Jasa's brother. Hola, ¿cómo está? I don't speak Spanish. Don't start speaking Spanish to me. What else, Anthony? When you first start, you get happy about any event where you get 100k credits, because you can level up in your arena characters your arena characters one more level. Yeah, those are the days. It'll happen as you get more involved in the game. You'll start managing your resources better, and you'll be able to you just get a better understanding of there. So yeah, it's just understanding the resources, and being hyper focused in this game can help a lot. I see a lot of times with new players, and people can talk about this in chat, where they're just all over the map. They worked on this, none of it ties in together, and then they're just miserable because, like, I don't understand and stuff. So just take your time, do a little reading, do a little watching, figure out what works for you, what doesn't, This is getting out of hand. Now there are two Jasas. So yeah, you'll figure it out. And, the good thing is, Henry, you got lots of people in this chat and other places you can ask questions to, and they will tell you right or wrong what they think and give you some good advice. But with any advice, take it with a grain of salt, make up your own damn mind. What's that, Chris? It says, and P.S. I thought I had a back wall of GLs on my GSA back wall earlier today. Wink. Oh. Chris. Yeah, I'll look at your stuff there, Jack. Of course, we'll look at it here. I cannot. I'm gonna say this is Jaxic. I finally found a farming rhythm that lets me roll like a new tune every 2 weeks. Feels good. Brought my nest up today. Nice. Congrats. Does Loki not stream anymore? He's just been busy, man. He's been dealing with, just a lot of work, man. So, I mean, Loki streams when he can, but it's not conducive for him right now to stream. So Ranger, do you have a favorite brand of bourbon? Yes, I do. It's Mr. John Daniels, and I can call him John Daniels because I've been drinking it most of my life. Jack Daniels for you Nubians out there. But yeah, if I could afford it, I'd buy it. I don't right now, so I don't drink it right now. I just drink some cheap, no-name bourbon right now that I can barely get my hands on. It's right, it's a military special. Jack Daniels, indeed. All right, let's look at Jack stuff here real quick. The brother of Henry. Let's take a gander here. Oh, Mobile Boomer. We were in the same guild for a long time. Nubian. Kazakage says, I am here. Well, I'm glad you're here, Kazakage. What's going on, buddy? Well, it's about 3 years ago that he quit. Yeah. Okay, let's see what you got going on here. It's kind of the same boat, 242,000. No, we don't do that with new accounts, Jack. We don't judge like that, man. I mean, it's kind of the same advice I gave your brother. Pick a GL that you like, or pick a path, or you want to focus on teams. So you can go SRKRC is the ones we recommend. But hell, let's say Jack, you're like, I want Jedi Master Kenobi. Then figure out what you need for Jedi Master Kenobi and go for it. But we always recommend SRKR and C because they're nice, easy GLs just to focus on the characters and move your way in, right? Just do that. Just make it easy. If you want to get SLKR, you can. If you want to go for C, you can. But this is your game, Jack. As I told Henry, go for the thing you want, but pick a team. I don't care what it is. Let's say you love bounty hunters, Jack. You're like, God damn it, I want bounty hunters. Then, God damn it, go pick 5 bounty hunters. See which ones are the best and the ones you want to play with, and go get them. I mean, one of the streamers and longtime friend of mine in my Battlefront 2 buddy, Van Seal, he's all about bounty hunters. Knee deep, arm deep, all the way in bounty hunters. He does not give, everything else is just secondary. Well, thank you for the sub, Jack. Very much appreciate it. You and Henry, both glad to have you here tonight. And he worked on bounty hunters first. Jedi Master Dasher, she's another content creator. Hasn't been doing as much, but she's done some videos all about Jedi. Just, again, knee deep, arm deep, all the way deep into Jedi. She does not give two nothings about anything else. She was going to work on Jedi first. If Jedi characters are announced, she's going to spend and get those characters up first. Vince feels the same way. If it's a bounty hunter or scoundrel that he can use with bounty hunters, there's those two people that, like, hey, I know what the meta is. I know that I should go for SLKR and C first. But nah, I like these characters more, and I'm going to play the damn game the way I want. And so if just in a general sense, if I'm going to tell you what to work on, it would be a GL, SLKR or C. They're both really good starting GLs for you, right? You work on the characters, you get some teams out of it. You can, work on those tunes, get them up and running. But if the first group of characters, let's say you want to, certain teams and characters you want, like pick a faction, then go work on it. Then go work on a GL, right? I mean, this is your game, Jack, so you work on it the way you want. We just recommend, if you want to long-term, if you like the game and you want to be competitive and come up with a long-term plan that we know just from experience how the game plays and what you'll be most successful with, that's the way to do it. But then again, you got to enjoy it. It's a game. What's the goddamn point if you're not having fun in the game? You got to have fun in the game. So, as I'm saying. Pay the Troll says, I was going for SLKR and now I have GG Squad for no reason. Well, how did that happen? It's crazy. I woke up on Monday. I was working on SLKR. But by Wednesday, I had a Relic 7 Grievous. I don't remember Tuesday. Okay. Go have a good time watching the show with your dad. There, tell your dad I said hi. Who I don't know who he is, but he says he watches us, so there you go. Why not Lord Vader First Ranger? How dare you, Kazakage? Because that one's way out of reach for a new player, unless they want to spend, holy God. About 14 months ago for Mobile Gamer? Really? I thought it was 2019 that he quit. No, that's a good point, Jax. It's kind of fun if you folks around grinding teams that include the GL requirements. The C grind has been fun so far by putting separatists together for Dooku, Padme for Janek Knight Anakin troops. Yeah, you can do that. There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just going to steer you like the simplest, most focused stuff on a new player. But again, new players, you give them advice, you send it, like it's like enlightenment. I can put you on the path of enlightenment. I can't give you enlightenment. You got to figure that stuff on your own. I can just say, here's some suggestions. This works in the past. This is from our experience on new players, like routes that they can go. Try to give as many options as I can. You pick the path that's best for you, and then you would let that light bulb hit you when it does. That's the best I can do for anybody. At the end of the day, it's all about like what works for you and what doesn't. All I can do is give advice. Best advice I can give. Just from my experience working with the tens of thousands of players all of these 6 years that I've done, whether it's Ross reviews and all that other stuff. Yeah, Chris, how did your midterm go, buddy? He says too many tests today. But everybody's different, right? New players is going to be different advice than like, someone that's mid tier on their account versus someone that's just starting to get into the high tier, or someone that's like in me or Kyber 1. I look at different stuff and look at what I think would be the best route for them to go, whether it's modding, whether it's the characters that they should go for, give my suggestions on things. That's why I'm very, when I try to be as clear and concise on the advice that I give, just because I know what works and what doesn't work, Nicely done, Chris. 87% and 92%. That's winning, dude. Kazakagi says, question, what about legendary ETH Koth? How dare you, sir? How dare you? He should go into the realm of poo-poo with Mace Windu. Well, we all know how Mace sucks in this game. Not as a character. ETH actually is okay as a character, and Mace is badass as a character in Star Wars mythos. But in the game, they're kind of garbage. Straight garbage. You want a GL Pong Krell? I don't think he rises to the level of GL. I like Pong Krell a lot, and I think he would be a dope-ass character to get in the game, for sure. Gio Watto, get out of here, Contingent 33. That's even worse. Oh, God. Kind of garbage? Garbage. You got to stay on the honor roll. Yeah, I did too. I know how that is. I was on the Dean's list and all that stuff. I just, the way I am, I can't, I'm like anytime I got a B on anything, I'd be like, that's garbage, man. Because I have a lot of time stuff, but I have an A average through my college years. Look this up, please. Jack, what am I looking up? I would like a Pong Krell, Jax. Don't get me wrong. I think that would be a dope-ass character to get in the game, but I don't think he just doesn't rise to the level of GL. GL Mob Enforcer, Kazakagi, now you're just talking straight out your pooper. You're just saying characters that suck just to say GL. GL Jar Jar, yeah. Misa-like. Oh, little Annie. Yoda, Yoda's a legendary. But yeah, Jar Jar. We know the probability, it's not zero, but it's pretty close to it, as I've talked with Crumb on stream about. Jar Jar and Porkins, not high probability those two are coming to the game. Sat says, how about making a character when any character gain a buff, that character gains it also and then gets 100% from each and can target anyone? Huh. That sounds a little OP there, Sassy. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine that? Good God. No. Actually, the more I think about that, Sassy, that would be horrible. It would depend on the team, but that could be broken. First move, don't attack. Do a buff. Why? Because that person's going to go and they're going to eat you alive. Yoda.
Cheers me well.
He would kill people with his big ass ears. Oh, at least think of something, General Jar Jar.
And give up.
Jar Jar using the bomba.
Misa don't have a bomba.
Ugh. Jar Jar's unique would just spread non-resistible locked buff to randomly cross the other 19s on the board. No, I don't would do it. You get the stupid joint and you can just randomly shoot anybody. Your team or them. Galactic Legend Mickey. Oh boy. Sure is great to have a lightsaber here. Put the paint on your monkey asses. I don't think we need a GL Mickey. No, sir. Much as I love Kermit the Frog, Kermit the Frog, I don't think he reaches the legend of the legacy of a GL. Jar Jar would debuff his own team. Jesus. Jar Jar. Oh, God. Jar Jar spreads confusion to enemies and now is like, oh, God. Oh, God. He was on the bomba. Oh, God. Can you imagine? Good Lord. Yeah. How about no, Scott? I got a whole bag of shh for you. Not because they're shh. Before you even begin, GL Christopher Walken. It's crazy. The lightsaber. Up my ass. Hurt. Bad. Can you imagine that? GL Christopher Walken. All right. Other than the nonsensical, probably happening GL request here. Any more questions or questions and stuff like that? Put them in. We'll start wrapping it up. Jar Jar could be the buff JMK doesn't need. Oh God. Gila Grande. Oh God. Let's not even bring that. If you say his name 2 more times, Kazakage, his ass may show up. Guys. The found chickens. I'm gonna get that chicken. Hey, in Conquest, will new ship be meta? Yeah, pretty. I'm gonna say this about the new ship. It's dope. That reinforcement ability is sick. You can take on. I mean, just from testing, that ship is sick. It's very sick. I don't know if it's gonna hold its own on a lot of stuff. So yeah, I think it's gonna be dope. Red Power, which other content creator do you think you're most likely to run into in GAC? I almost ran into Ian. He's the one that I saw recently, but we didn't get matched up because that's when the disaster happened. It could have been a thing where me and Ian faced one another. But looking at where I'm at right now with my ranking, I'll have to wait and see. But I'm trying to think who's near me right now. Yeah, I don't know yet. I'll have to look, but I'll know if I see him. Ian, I saw that because it was Ian explained on the title. I knew exactly what it was, so I saw it. But we both won our first round, but then the whole shenanigans happened, and it's like, God damn it. Is Grid close to where you are? He's 7.6, 7.5. He's somewhat close to me, Red Power. I mean, I'd love to face Grid, but that would be unfair because I have a huge GP advantage. I mean, you know. So I don't know. Can new ship beat Executrix? Oh yeah. Can new ship beat Executrix? Oh yeah. You actually probably want to use it. After stream, will you look up this? Look up what, buddy? Peaches? Am I looking up Peaches? Cubs fan, bad hair. God damn it, Red Power. I don't think Cubs. He's only early 7 million, I want to say. He's getting closer, but I mean, I'm still getting. It would be an unfair fight between me, Grid, or Cubs. I mean, it just would. I mean, my roster's just mods and stuff. Grid would be really. This link. What link? I don't see a link in there, buddy. There's no link you're putting in there. Probably the reason you can't put a link in there is because I don't allow links like that. So, sorry. Yeah, the 2 new tanks, yeah, they work very good for what they do. The tanks will be solid. All 3 of the ships are solid. Yeah, I don't allow links in here. That's because we get spammers, Jack. The problem is that we get spammed all the time with people doing crap like that, and I just don't allow it. You can, My stick is better than bacon. I'll look it up if that's the thing. On YouTube, yeah, I'll look it up. I'll look it up for you, buddy. But yeah, we get people that will spam, like people from Russia and bots and things of that nature, porn, all that kind of stuff. That's why I don't allow any links that unless you're approved by me, and I'm very particular. So yeah, nothing is better than bacon's pretty damn good. I'd love some bacon right now. Question: start, cool down, CD set or speed set, and potency cross or offense cross. Both work fine actually. I mean, you can go. If you want to go speed with crit chance and crit damage, all those sets work. I think I've got a speed set with crit chance on my Stark. So yeah, I'll look it up there, Jack. But yeah, you can't put links in my stream right now. That's just the way it works. Who's tagging me? Ross Abernathy, what's going on, buddy? Says, is there any info on when the new tank ships will be releasing? The first order tank would be great for me. I don't know. I beta tested them, but again, I don't know when they're going to release stuff unless I'm doing the reveal. But even then, I can't say anything if it was because then I would know, and I can't share that stuff, NDA and stuff. But I made the guess, Ross, that I think they're going to come next week. And I didn't think they were going to come this week. I thought it was too soon from the State of the Galaxy. I think next week we're going to get those. Those will be the next thing. I'm pretty positive Tuesday or Wednesday we'll get those. Or at least one of them. So, what else is their question? Because we got the Galactic Chase. I think they're going to do an announcement, right? It's not a marquee. It's going to be a Galactic Chase, so we'll see. So we should get an announcement probably a couple days before the event, or a day or two before the event. So we'll see. Question: what are your thoughts on Dad Bod Boba Fett and TW so far? He feels kind of underwhelming for the cost of 3 Omicrons. He can be really good. He can take out GLs. He can be a pain in the ass on defense. For 3, I mean, it's just another character in a team. If you invest in the Omicrons for TW that can take out some GLs, that's kind of nice because you do get those walls of SLKR and Ray. That's kind of a nice extra team to have to take out a GL, right? It's like Star Killer in GAC. It's nice to have that team that could take out a GL when you need it to, right? Kind of thing, or at least terrorize the damn thing until it gets really low. You can go in there with another team and clean it up. So I think there is value to the Omicrons. Problem is I don't find value in TW Omicrons as compared to GAC Omicrons. That's the bigger thing. It's not that the Dad Bod Boba Fett Omicrons aren't worth it. They are. I think they're very solid for TW, but I don't think that should. I just think you get more value getting your GAC Omicrons first, the ones that are really good, because then again you're going to do GAC a hell of a lot more than you're going to do TW. If you can win most of those matches and get those extra rewards and get those extra crystals, that means your account's getting up faster, which means you can get more teams up that you can help your guild overall in TW more than I'd say Dad Bod Boba Fett's 3 Omicrons. So that's the bigger issue. It's not that I don't think Dad Bod Boba Fett's Omicrons aren't worth it. They're effective. However, as compared to what I can get from GAC overall rewards and just the general overall sense of it, I still think GAC Omicrons are better. Janet, you're always welcome. He says, thank you for taking time to answer my questions today, Ranger. You're always welcome. Glad to do it. How will we get the new tanks? I'm pretty sure it's a Galactic Chase. Huzzah! The greatest event ever! Ross says, awesome. It's just because I have all the other first order ships that I feel out of place when I have to supplement them with other ships. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it'd be nice and with the first order to have the tank coming in and doing its thing, so yeah. But I mean, first order still is a really good offensive ship. Even without the tank, we just always bring in like Clone Sergeant or something, right? Just to be that tank. But what they can and Resistance the same way. You've got that committed tank, that's not Houndstooth that you can use and not worry about it. Jedi Anakin with Ami Qui-Gon offense or CD set? Oh, crit damage all the way. He's crit chance, crit damage. Anakin is you want that big whopping crit. So yeah, always crit chance, crit damage. Offense is fine too. I mean, it's not wrong, but I just prefer crit chance, crit damage. I think it's more effective. Elsie question: which tunes would you use crit damage over offense? There's a few. I like it on Anakin. I like it on anything, especially Han's really good. Jedi Anakin's really good. I like it on Snips if you can do it. I like it on Echo. Like if you look at Echo and Arc, I like offense for Arc, but I like crit damage, crit chance for Echo. Some of the bounty hunters really work well with crit damage, crit chance. I think I've got that one on like Boba Fett or Jango, one of the two. But you mix those up too. I think I've done Boba Fett, but I'm not looking at my stuff right now because my brain's melted right now. Like Jango, I think I put potency on as well. So yeah. Chris Ball says, now that arena isn't important, I think Omicron should be divided between PvP and PvE events instead of only one specific event. Yeah, well, I mean, so you don't get anything for PvP, right? So I'm just trying to think if there's anything we get PvP where you get Omicrons. No, GAC does not give Omicrons. Fleet does not give Omicrons. So, yeah, I can see your point there. Because really, you get them out of Conquest. You get them out of, if you do the challenges every 3 days, you get them. And then they drop out of Cantina. So, yeah, I can see your argument there, Chris. Ranger, do you ever find out any info on the strange GAC thing bug you had today? No, I'm not too worried about it. I think it has more to do with the errors. I mean, I was going to write something and say something, but then they know that there's issues all over the place where people are having problems left and right with and they're going to hot fix something here. And I'm looking to see if we have any update on that. So, I'm waiting to see what they say from that, but I've got the screenshots for it. Okay, it's been deployed. So if you have any issues with that, but that was a strange bugs. I'll let them know about it, but I got the material for it, but there's a lot of strange things happening today that they were reported to. So yeah. Shogun! Love the name, man. Mainly because I'm an anime junkie. Qui-Gon, Amajon beat any GLs in GAC. No, it's not meant to. It was never intended to, and it's not. But I'll tell you what, it's a hell of a good team still. I use Qui-Gon all over the place for like teams like, well, I can use Qui-Gon here. I say that shit a lot in GAC. It was like, well, I could always use Qui-Gon here, even though he can't take out GLs. I'll tell you what, man, still a dope-ass team to use on offense against a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Hell, we take out CLS with this damn team. I mean, Jedi, Anakin, just this basic team here, and I don't even have it all the way fully relicked. I mean, that team does a lot of good stuff. But not against GLs. Not going to take out GLs. But it is never intended to. And now that they've in Shogun, they've talked about the power rankings of like where they think our marquee characters and tunes are not meant to take out GLs. But yeah, that man, I remember the first time I faced Qui-Gon on defense, I went in there with the JML team and it destroyed it before they changed it. Jesus, that was horrifying. I went in there, I mean, Jedi Master Luke, Jedi Luke Cam. I went in there full board, like, all right, let's try this Qui-Gon team out with this badass relic to the teeth, modded to JML, GL, and it's dead. And it's gone. But I still really like Qui-Gon's. We use it all the time. So I still like Qui-Gon's Omicron. It's one of the better ones. Sassy says, thank you for answering my questions tonight. Thank you for your help testing. No, it's what I do. I don't get paid. I don't get anything. I just help out people because it's the thing. I work for tips, even when I'm doing mini roster reviews, like, like $5-10 maybe. And, that's like some coffee money or something that I can go get like coffee or save it up and get some bourbon. But that's really, I mean, I do tons of them all the time. It's just, and I'm here to answer your questions and help you out. I mean, that's the whole point of this is to try to help you out, answer your questions, give you the information that you need best I can. Sometimes I don't know, and if I don't know, I'm not one of those people who like give you some bullshit. I'm going to tell you I don't know and see if I can find out. And if not, I'll ask the chat. If chat don't know, then we'll go look it up, or I'll find you somewhere where you can go get that answer. Right? That's the whole point of this. I always set him on defense with Anakin, Shaq, GK, and Cam. Most bad batch can outspeed her at 3D1 speed after the 60 plus speed. Yeah, you can do that now. That comes down to mods, Ray Rock. So, but yeah, you can. But you got to have the mods. But that's Ray Rock. You and I both damn well know how mods go. Elsie question: Omni on low relic Qui-Gon with relic Jedi, or Omni on 3-star Iden and Gear 12 Troopers? Iden, I think is a better Omicron than Qui-Gon. Iden is sick. And if you have Gear 12 Troopers with 3-star Iden, dope. Go watch the Arnold stream today, man. Talking about Iden, man. He is terrified of that team. Most people are. What is your Zam team? It's just a standard team. Do I have that on offense? Do I have bounty hunters here? This is a standard. We mix and match sometimes with the bounty hunters. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be Aura with these 4 and Zam. I got to get Aura one more. She's gear 9. I need to get her to gear 10. Eventually, I want to take her up higher, but she's not a priority. But she works fine at gear 9 because do the big hit with Boss, do the big hit with Grieve, and then Zam's in there giving them all the bonuses, and then Mando's going to obliterate someone's ass, and then you're in your payout. But if not, like today, I didn't have Aura ready. She wasn't ready, so I went Bossly. But if I go bounty hunter for bounty hunters and I've got the speed advantage, I'm going in there with that because the team wrecks. It wrecks a lot of stuff. That's a standard team, and we'll mix and match it because really the other team we're going to be using is Dadbod, Bubba Fett, Dash, IG, Quill, and Fennec is going to be a team. We're going to mainly use that against Lord Vader teams. I got to get that. I got to get Zam, and I got to get Dadbod, Bubba Fett relics. It's like, God damn, it's just never ending. Red Power question: what do you think about the idea of changing TB, TW, Omicrons to guild event Omicrons usable in both modes to make them more appealing? I like the idea. They'll never do that, Red Power. I like the idea, but nope. And just for the financial, I mean, you know why, Red. I love the idea. I wish they would do it. If they did it tomorrow, man, I'd be all on board, but they ain't gonna do that. Charger forgot about the Zan speed boost today and lost his sense very quickly. Yeah, you gotta kind of look at stuff like that and take that into consideration because, yeah, Imperial Troopers usually, if the Zan Omicron's not there, Imperial Troopers eat bounty hunters alive. If the Omicron's there, you better might want to check the speed, do some math because you're gonna get boomed. Ronin's eye question: he talked to CG about prioritizing the round shortcuts on the right side of the screen. TW join is active but isn't shown because of the Conquest Pass and Hyper active being there. Yeah, let me write that down. I'll do my best there, Ronan. Ronan. Right side. Right. Well, they've probably heard this already because they watched the stream. So before I even said it, a lot of times that 95% of the time I know CG's watching the stream, though they go back and watch the streams. I mean, just you seeing that and asking that question, they'll pick up on that. But just in case, right side. Shortcuts. Okay. Got it. That's from Ronan. My Ronan. Continues, says I run Yellow Godzilla, Nom, Zam, Mandy, Bob, and Phoenix so they can get the contract ASAP and disintegrate. Yeah, there you go. Yellow Godzilla, get out of here. I run Yellow Godzilla. Get the hell out of here. Yellow Godzilla. Silly. Just silly. Very silly. You're welcome, Contingent. Yeah, those are going to be the two teams. I mean, I don't have it running right now, but that's going to be the teams. Hell, I may even take Dash out of there and put maybe Bam on that. Not kind of like the Bam team I have right now. Maybe go Bam with Dash. I mean, we're gonna mix and match it, but we'll come up with the final. You can mix and match with those characters and stuff. So I'm okie dokie with that. All right, we'll start doing some more questions here. I know what Jig calls a lot of stuff like Tickle Tank. Really, Ray Rock, you know that Jig calls like Droideca. No match for Droidecas. He calls it Tickle Tank, and from there, I'm sure a lot of nicknames that get floated out in the SWGOH universe is because of the man with the most colorful hair in the business, Mr. Jig. Some of the names he calls stuff, I'm like, you called that what? I still remember the first time I heard that. I'm like, what the hell's a Tickle Tank? Droideca. Why? Because he tickles you. I'm like, what? Get out of here. Yeah, you can run Dash with the prepared team. You can go Bam with that, and then Dadbod Boba Fett with some bounty hunters. You can mix and match their contingent. So I mean, it's nice to have the options. But I think I don't know if I put that team together yet. Because I just haven't. Is it on offense or defense? I know I put some kind of dad bod team. I may have moved it. You can see I'm working on IDing there. Yeah, I don't think I have it down. Not yet. I mean, we've been using this team on defense just because it's a nightmare. But that's because I just don't have all the characters up yet that I want for the prepared team or the Dad Bob Boba Fett team. Yeah, not quite there yet. Yeah, but once he gets ramped up, that old tickle tank is more of a, I don't know what the word is. It's an ouch time kind of tank. It sure hits like a destroyer because he will destroy one of your tunes, man. I've seen it happen, man. Yeah, dang. Droid deck, if he rolls and gets stacks, he will one-shot your shit sometimes. It's crazy, especially if he's on the right team. If he's on a droid team or if he's on that gets loose, he can just cause havoc. Same thing with if you put him on Geonosians. He gets loose, man. Jesus. I've seen that thing do some crazy damage. Yeah, I do too. I don't have mine relic yet. It's a list party, but it's just not a team that I'm trying to, I need to round up right this moment, so I'll eventually get to it, but it's not a priority. Everything you see on the screen here up, these are the 18 characters either through mods, gear, or something else I'm working on. Stars, these are the priority of characters I'm trying to get up, just to round out stuff. I know, too many other priorities. I mean, like, Thane's always talking shit. He's always like, hey, you don't have your Jawas up. Yeah, I wonder why. Says I show him the 18 stuff we're working on right now. The slow Jodica hits hard into space. If he can get it off, Chris, that's the thing. Because he can be manipulated and controlled. As I said, if he gets loose. Alexander Bryan question, Django's crit damage or offense set? Both work. I mean, I like crit damage because when he does his one shot, get that big damage in. But I like potency on him too for his burn. So you can go offense with potency, or you can go crit damage, crit chance with potency secondaries, or you can go crit damage with the potency set. Those are all viable options, Alexander. Go with the best one you have of those. Chris question, anyone know if Jyn Erso's Zeta Zeta roll work on for the U-Wing ship too? It has some effect. I don't know what effect it has. Someone answer that for Chris in here, because God, I haven't looked in that ship in the New York, man, and I still have to round that one out too. It's not Resistance. What's wrong with me? It's Rebels. Yeah, I still have to get those characters up and running. So, I don't know what her Zeta has. It boosts the ship speed. Okay, thank you, Ray Rock. I thought it did. I just didn't want to give an answer when I'm not 100% sure. But eventually I got to take that ship. Eventually we're going to work on characters for ships, but it's not right now. So my long-term plan is get these characters done that I'm working on. Then once these are done and locked in, we'll farm the Night Sisters the Inquisitorius as normal, and then work on Rebels and stuff like that. Get all those ships up and running with their relics and stuff. But I got to get these characters squared away first. Then we'll have enough teams I can just kind of sit back and take my time and do stuff with, and get them up and running. I like to get the Rebel fleet up and running with Akbar and the Rebels. Get that. That's a priority. Get the Relic on, Geonosian Soldier, that kind of stuff. You run Dash, Vandor, Chewie, Nast, and L3. Yeah, that's a good one. Young Han, you can do that. Prepared. That's a nice one. I can see that. I've seen Kira in that team. There's a ship state calculator you can use to see the before and after stats if you increase the pilot's gear or relic level, so you can decide if you want to go for it. Yeah, there you go. I didn't know that. Thank you for the information there, Ray Rock. Chris says get the ships up before the new ones come out. Thank you, Ray Rock. Yeah. There you go. Ray Rock will post the calculator. Fantastic. There you go. Helping you since 2015 or 2016 RSG. The skewer's coming through. Yeah, there's not much to do in the game right now. I'm pretty much tapped out. The only thing I got left, I gotta get it 10 of these, 9 of these, and then balls. I need balls. I need 24 balls. So hopefully I can get something in the store, and I can finish off visas tonight. Well, we can slice her mod up. Well, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Will I take off 6 east slice? No, those are different pieces. She needs all her mods up to that level, because eventually you're gonna slice her up too. Get her to 12 tomorrow, and then I'll join GAC, and then we'll call happy times. Happy times. Get ready for our next. Get ready for our next round of GAC. Yeah, get in there and get it done, man. Gonna get some of them wins, get some of that good stuff there, boy, I tell you. All right. Anything else before we go? All right, last call for questions and stuff. Go for 2 hours. Helping people out. That's what we do here. Rock and roll. Yeah, visas. I can take a break because I've been streaming a lot today, and then get ready for tomorrow. So tomorrow, a couple notes. Tomorrow we'll do the lunch stream. I don't know when we're going to do JC. It would be tomorrow night or Friday. I'll find out for sure from Thane. See if he's on the lunch stream tomorrow. We'll give you a schedule on that. Friday will be a normal lunch stream because we'll join JC today. Set up will be Thursday into Friday. And it'll be Friday night. So I'll let you guys know if we're going to do Friday night or we're going to do it after the Jedi Academy on Saturday. We should be doing D&D this weekend. I don't know for sure. So that'll be the other thing. And then, yeah, I think we're good on that. Yeah, make sure you hit the good suggestion there, Chris Paul. Hit that thumbs up. It really is appreciated. Again, if you really want to support the content, plenty of ways. You can you can become a Patreon. That's always appreciated. Hell, if you want to support the Ranger J 19, I am losing 30 pounds in 30 days. Well on my way. I've lost 12 so far and 9, but I plateaued horribly. God, it's gonna have to bust through this the next couple of days, just working out and losing weight. But if you want to support the Ranger J 1999 Bourbon Fund, you can hit the PayPal, throw me a toss a coin to your Ranger. I always use that for, like, you know, silly stuff like bourbon and things of that nature. Coffee. I'm gonna say, Ranger, go get some coffee. Okay, I'll go get some coffee. I definitely suggest the Discord's linked in the description below. Please join the Discord, especially for a lot of you newer players that have been asking a lot of questions. There's a Q&A section there. You can ask questions in general chat and just ask questions in the Q&A section and get some help from SWGOH from a lot of the people. You're more than welcome to message me in Discord anytime. As I always say, I may not respond right away, but I will respond, and I take pride in that. So you're more than welcome to message me anytime about anything in the game that you have questions about, whether it's mods, characters, who to go for, things of that nature. During the week, during the lunch stream, I do a lot of, we do in-depth roster reviews. On Tuesday, we do mini roster reviews. Although everybody wants me to do mini roster reviews during the whole week. So, yeah. That's what we do here. Help you guys out, live stream, interact, and help you guys with the game to help answer your questions and get you guys squared away. All right. With that, I think we're going to wrap it up. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. Again, don't worry, there'll be more content. We live stream all the time, SWGOH, so we'll be back tomorrow. We'll finish up Conquest. We'll join GAC. I'll get visas up to 12 at least, so we can use her on the Starkiller team, move some pieces around, talk about some teams for GAC with the GAC Whisperers there. If not, then we'll just get into Friday handling it. So yeah. What's the event for tomorrow? Tomorrow we have just galactic bounties, so we'll just get some free crystals and stuff. Hope we get to make good tomorrow. That'll be nice as well. So we'll do all that stuff tomorrow. We'll finish up Conquest. We'll get everything else done, and then just keep doing stuff in game and answer your questions. So join the Discord, message me, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, think about becoming a Patreon member, blah, 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 all that stuff. So on behalf of myself and everybody here at RSG, thank you very much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day, and we will holler at you later. Peace out.